Hey friends, welcome to Makeup and a Movie, where I do my makeup.
And I talk about a movie.
And today we are talking about...
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2.
Which we saw a long time ago, but we're just now getting around to talking about it. And I'm going to be using the Pretties for Your Face Hamilton palette in order to do my look today. Before we start, make sure you don't miss on any of our interactive opportunities. Subscribe down below, comment and let us know if you liked Guardians 2 or if you didn't. Let us know about that. And yeah, that's pretty much what's happening here.
Also, hit the notification icon.
Yeah, you should do that, or you can be a part of our email newsletter. That link will be down below also. We haven't started sending things out yet, but we will. It's happening. And then if you want to comment below Zainey fam, then we will shout you out in a future video, much like this. So yeah, if you want to be shouted out there, make sure you comment down below and follow us with the email notification and or the notification button, whichever one you want. Yep. All right. So for this, I did say we are going to be using this palette. This is what it looks like. If you missed the swatch out we did on this, then make sure you look on our playlist, which I will put down below for you. The reason why we chose this one is because of what?
It's actually because of the colors. You take a look, we have this purple tone there, and it's called the...
Work?
Yeah.
Wait. No, that's what I missed. It's backwards on the back.
Yeah. Which looks very similar to the Power Stone that we saw in Volume 1. The mystical Infinity Stone that Peter Quill manages to wrest away from the accuser.
We probably will be using almost every color in here. I don't know about this one yet. We'll see. We'll see what we do. What I'm going to be starting off with then is I'm going to be using Essence the Velvet Smooth Caramel to provide a base over my eyeshadow primer to get a really smooth light surface. You can barely see this, that's why I'm using it, and we'll just put that down. And then what I'm going to be doing after that is doing this color right here. This is a Burn, and I'm going to be using that all over my lid and up into my crease just a little bit higher, so you can see it. And I'm going to build on top of that as we go.
Okay. The Volume 2 is set 3 months after the original movie. So this movie, it isn't following in the same timeline as the rest of the Marvel movies, where it's, constantly right now. This one is actually set around the same time as Winter Soldier. So we're seeing a little bit of the past, we're seeing more of the universe, and I think that's really what this movie is all about. It's more about expanding the universe around them. In this movie, Peter Quill and the other Guardians are not going after another Infinity Stone. In fact, this has nothing to do with the Infinity War at all. This is much more of a personal story. It's about Peter and his relationship with his father. This is different from the comics, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie, I keep on saying that, here, Quill has the father of Ego, which is a living planet. Ego does exist in the comic books, but has no relation to Star-Lord. In the comics, he had a different father from a planet called Spartax, and he was the king of that planet. But they decided they wanted to go a little bit bigger and use this to explain why he could use the Infinity Stones that only the Celestials could use. He is half Celestial. Ego the Planet was a really interesting character in this movie. How did you feel about him?
As Ego the Planet, I don't know. I really don't know how I felt about him. Like, it's nice to see Kurt Russell doing movies, but I felt like this was kind of a weak storyline, to be honest.
It is, as it was more of a about father story.
Yeah.
It's not just Ego as his father, but his adoptive father of Yondu. And
yeah, and I liked that a lot better. Like you said, like Ego as a planet to me was kind of lame. But the father storyline was not. So I was kind of, I don't know.
This movie has Yondu as a much more vulnerable character. Not only is he more, we see why he's outcast from some of the other Ravagers, why his crew is separate, but we also get to see him really opening up to Quill and being, well, this is really what I'm about.
Oh, exactly. All right, for now, I'm going to do this purple color in the crease, and then I'm going to spread this color right here. This is a work. I'm going to put that all over the lid, and then I'm going to take a little bit of this, which is 1776, and I'm going to put it, we learned how to do this week, actually, and it's doing a halo effect of putting like a little bit darker color, like right here, right? Right in the middle, and it's actually going to go all the way up, which I have never seen this technique done before, so I was interested to try it. This is my first time doing it by myself.
Okay, well, we'll see how that turns out. Now, the story with Ego basically has it, spoiler alert, Ego is evil. He is wanting to spread himself out and control all the other planets, has spread seeds to them, but he can't do it by himself. He has to have another Celestial, and that's why he went and found Peter's mother and did the deed.
Did the deed.
Indeed. Quill is the only one that was actually viable. He apparently has tried this on many different worlds, and
none of them were strong enough or something, right?
Yeah, and they all got burnt out when he tried to use them. This is also why Yondu was outcast, because he was running out all over the galaxy, picking up these children and bringing them to Ego. And the Ravagers have a strict code, don't mess with kids. When you look at those Ravagers, all of those characters were, in the comics, Guardians of the Galaxy at one point.
Oh, interesting.
Almost every single one of them. And the character played by, I believe, Sylvester Stallone and one of the other female Ravager captains were actually the same character.
Oh, interesting.
In the comic books, they were brother and sister that had fused together, and the sister had all the superpowers, and the brother had a different set, and so they would switch off. When they needed to do all the heroics, they would switch to the girl, and whenever they needed more information, I think they switched to the guy.
So I do have to tell you, if you see me really struggling to blend, it has nothing whatever to do with the shadows and more to do with my arm, because I do have trouble. I can't reach a lot with my arm. I'm not allowed to reach. So that's why you see me doing this really close to my body, doing it this way. I don't have the reach power of blending that I normally would have. I'm trying to be very subdued in how I use my right hand. I've tried to use my left hand. It's just not working. So I will be using my right, but I'm doing it very, very close to my body. So please take that with a grain of salt. That has nothing to do with how these blend or anything like that.
This movie, one of the best parts about it is Baby Groot. You love Baby Groot, don't you?
Baby Groot is amazing. I think everybody really loves Baby Groot.
The director, James Gunn, also really loves Baby Groot. In fact, he spent a lot of time in the development of this movie all about him, even though we don't see him all that much.
Right.
During the opening credit sequence, there's this amazing dance that Baby Groot does to the music from Peter Quill's Walkman, and all of that was choreographed by James Gunn personally, and then he went and put on the mocap suit and did it himself.
Oh, that's awesome.
The sequence, all of the CG to make that work, took 2 years to finally render it.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a big scene.
Has that, like, when did the last Guardians movie come out, though?
It's been a little while. We can take a look here. Guardians of the Galaxy, the original one, came out in 2014. So they did 2 years of work on just the CG of that sequence. I don't think that's also including the filming work. That's just the CG for the interdimensional beast, the environment, and Groot. Okay,
I am now going to use this last blue one that is piece of coal. I am going to just dab it in my crease just a little bit, just on the edges here so you can see it. Then let me tell you what I'm using for my under eye while we're going through that. I have for my eyeliner, my regular eyeliner, this is the Lottie London Wing Woman liner. I'm still using this, still checking it out. It seems to be okay for now. And then in my crease, I'm going to do kind of a dual thing. I have the Cynthia Rowley eyeliner, and it is in this gorgeous silver, which I'm going to be using like from the inner corner out, and then I'm going to use this one, which is a ColourPop liner in Show Me. That's a really pretty gold, which I'm going to use going in, and this is both in my waterline, and then I'm going to take more of the purple color that you see here, and I'm going to put that just in my under eye to bring it all together in kind of like a more of a darker look, I guess, underneath. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to use this yellow. I don't know if you saw the yellow right here. I'm going to use the yellow in my under eye instead to make it kind of bring a little more yellow. I don't know. I think it'll be cool. Yeah, let's do that instead.
Let's take it then.
Okay.
The other thing about Groot, there's a whole other section of the script. Not section, a whole version of the script. James Gunn wrote, and only he and Vin Diesel have it, that has all of Groot's lines in English.
Why does Vin Diesel have it?
Because he was the voice of Groot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Even in this movie, they just sped his lines up to make it sound like he had a higher voice.
Uh-huh.
So, those two are the only ones that have this script, and I beg you, just get him in to the audio studio one more time to re-record the lines in English and make that one of the special features on the DVD.
Seriously.
I would love to see little baby Groot talking in English and know what he's actually saying. Or maybe just put subtitles in there.
Yeah.
I don't care. I just want to see it because I want to know what Gunn was thinking behind those lines when he was directing Vin Diesel to say them.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. Now, one thing that I noticed with the yellow that you have been using there, it actually reminds me of one of the races that we see very early on and then throughout the movie. The people are completely gold from head to toe.
Yes, they are.
It looks really gaudy, especially because their entire world is gold at the same time.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes with the whole aesthetic of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the galaxy portion of it, because everything is over the top, everything is really bright and colorful and popping, and so these gold people, it fits. As opposed to, like, if you were to take them and throw them into the rest of the Marvel Universe, people would be like, you do not belong here.
It is true.
I liked how they had their drones controlled. It looked like an old 80s arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody just kind of gathering around the one guy who's getting the high score, almost like the last Starfighter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I noticed that in also choosing this blue a little bit, I'm placing it right on top of my wing. But in choosing this blue, I didn't realize it's very much like, what's her name?
Nebula.
Yes, it's very Nebula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does kind of have that look to it, because she's got a very dark blue artificial skin. I'm not entirely certain how artificial her skin is, because you have Gamora and she's like bright green.
Yeah.
So what race is this? I don't really know. They haven't mentioned in the show what these characters' races are. Like, which race is this doesn't actually matter for most of the story. It's just true. You're a citizen of the universe.
Alright, because I have kind of an interesting eye look going on here, I am going to be using a very nude lip. I haven't even worn this yet. This is the Maybelline in Peach Buff. It's a matte. I had a couple new like nude colors coming out, so I decided to use this one just to be very, very nude here, but very bright in the eye.
When you are watching, do watch very closely at Stan Lee's cameo. I won't tell you everything about it, but it does bring together all of his other performances, not only through the cinematic universe for Marvel, but for the other appearances that he's made in other movies and other media, because this one has revealed that they are all the same character.
Yes, it has.
Yes, this is Uatu the Watcher. And, well...
Yeah.
That is a very dramatic look.
It is. I really like this palette a lot, and I love because there is a matte shade in here, I feel like you can use it in a lot of different ways. I used every single one in here, and I actually really like how it turned out, especially with the yellow stripe going up. It's a lot more interesting. It's almost like this tie-dyed kind of look that's happening. It's really interesting. I really like it.
I'm looking at the camera, and while it is a very nice pop to it, so from a distance, it gives your eyes a nice look. When you start getting closer, it gets more and more dramatic and more powerful.
It does.
I think this is a good look.
It's really cool.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Get this one, try that out.
And thank you so much, Meg, for sending this to us. It was not free. I did pay for it. I got a discount rate. I cannot wait. I'm totally going to get more from her. Honestly, like every time. She's got 2 Stranger Things palettes, which will probably be my next purchase. And I'm kind of thinking I might give some away maybe as well in our next giveaway that's coming up during the summer. So you guys totally do this. Yes. Yeah, I think our summer giveaway might be all palettes all the time. I don't know, because I already have one of my things coming, and it's a face palette.
Ooh.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching our Makeup and a Movie. And make sure you check out all the other ones we do down below. And join us on Wednesdays, Fridays.
And sometimes Sundays.
And until then,
stay zany.